Ladies and gentlemen, there's something undeniable about a person who carries unique energy. It isn't something that can be faked or fabricated. It radiates from within and leaves an impression long after you've left the room. When people react to you with confusion, fascination, envy, or even discomfort, without a clear reason, it often has less to do with what you're doing and more to do with the rare energy you carry. This type of energy cannot be explained logically. It's a vibration, a frequency, a silent power that affects those around you, often without you speaking a single word. Unique energy begins with authenticity. It means living in alignment with your truth even when the world around you demands conformity. You don't follow trends blindly. You don't pretend to be someone you're not just to fit in. You have learned, consciously or unconsciously, that your power lies in your ability to remain rooted in your essence. That type of grounded presence unsettles those who have not yet found themselves. They may admire you, but they may also fear or resist you. This is the paradox of carrying rare energy. You are both a mirror and a mystery to others. People with unique energy often trigger emotional responses in others, both positive and negative. Some will be drawn to you like moths to a flame, captivated by something they can't quite articulate. Others will keep their distance, confused by why your presence makes them feel insecure or defensive. This is not your fault, nor is it your responsibility to make others comfortable with the way your soul radiates. In fact, the discomfort they feel is often a signal that your energy is activating something dormant or unresolved within them. You're not just being. You're challenging unconscious patterns simply by existing as you are. You may notice people watching you closely, mimicking your style, or even criticizing you behind your back. These are signs that your energy is being felt deeply. Your light shines a little too brightly for those still hiding in shadows. And while it can be painful or lonely to feel misunderstood or misjudged, it's also a powerful confirmation that you are walking a path few dare to take. The reactions you receive aren't about ego, they're about energetic contrast. You disrupt the norm, and that disruption is sacred. A rare energy also has a magnetic quality. You attract opportunities, conversations, and connections that seem serendipitous. You might not always understand why certain people opened up to you or why strangers feel safe in your presence, but it's because they sense that you see them in ways others don't. Your energy offers something healing, even when you're silent. That's what makes it rare. It's not loud or attention-seeking, it's simply present, aware, and unshakably real. What's most important is that you don't dim this energy to make others comfortable. Many people with unique energy fall into the trap of shrinking themselves, doubting their worth or questioning why they seem to stand out. But the truth is, your energy is your gift. It's your compass. And those who are meant to walk alongside you will not only understand it, they'll celebrate it. So when people react strongly to you, whether with admiration, jealousy, or even silent distance, remember this: it's not personal, it's energetic. They are responding to something rare within you, something they might yet understand within themselves. Your job is not to explain or justify who you are. Your job is to stay aligned, keep growing, and let your energy speak for itself, because it already is. Carrying a high vibration is one of the clearest signs that you possess something rare, an energy that shifts the atmosphere, affects others deeply, and leaves an imprint wherever you go. People might not understand it. They may react with awe, intimidation, curiosity, or resistance, but it's never indifference. That's the hallmark of high vibrational energy. It cannot be ignored. When your vibration is high, you operate from a place of love, clarity, authenticity, and inner peace. This energy is rare in a world conditioned by fear, distraction, ego, and comparison. Your presence becomes a disruption, not in a chaotic way, but in a transformational one. You remind others, often subconsciously, of what they could become if they stepped into their own power, and that triggers them. It inspires some, it threatens others, but most importantly, it moves people. You carry light, and light is always noticed in dark rooms. High vibration isn't about pretending to be perfect or constantly feeling good. It's about inner alignment. It's about having gone through your healing, owning your wounds, doing your shadow work, and rising from it all with deeper wisdom. You radiate calm without trying. You exude certainty without controlling. You no longer need external validation because you're in tune with your essence. That makes you magnetic. That makes you rare. People may not know what it is about you that draws them in or makes them uneasy, but energetically, they feel it. Some will open up to you in surprising ways because your energy feels safe, healing, or familiar to something they long for. Others may avoid you or attempt to downplay your presence because it reflects parts of themselves they haven't accepted yet. None of these reactions are truly about you. They're about the frequency you carry, and your frequency is simply higher than what many are used to. You might notice that people seem to stare at you, mirror your behavior, or speak negatively about you behind your back without any valid reason. This is because your vibration stirs up dormant energy in others. Your presence calls people to be more conscious, more awake, more honest, and not everyone is ready for that. To carry a high vibration is to walk through the world with a quiet, unshakable strength that others either gravitate toward or retreat from. Either way, they react. A high vibration individual doesn't chase approval. They are guided by intuition, not fear. They say no without guilt, set boundaries with grace, and move away from toxicity without resentment. This way of being can confuse or frustrate who operate from lower frequencies of manipulation, drama, or control. But your soul has moved beyond those games, and that difference is felt. Because high vibration is rare, it also attracts rare experiences, deep connections, synchronicities, and opportunities that feel divinely timed. Life begins to feel like it's flowing instead of forcing. The right people find you, the wrong ones fall away, and those who stay are those who can meet you at your frequency. But this journey isn't always easy. Being someone who vibrates higher can feel isolating at times. You may feel like an outsider in rooms that once felt familiar. You might lose relationships that were built on past versions of yourself. That's okay. Shedding what no longer aligns is part of elevation. Letting go is a sign that you're making room for people and situations that match your frequency. So when people react to you in intense, unexplainable ways, take it as a sign. It means you carry something rare. Your vibration speaks before you do. Trust it. Protect it. Nurture it. Because the world doesn't need more noise. It needs more souls like yours, anchored in truth, radiating love, and walking in light. There are people who walk into a room and immediately shift the energy. Not because they speak the loudest or wear the most eye-catching clothes, but because something about them is unmistakably different. That difference is often the result of a rare aura, an energetic field so uncommon that people can't help but react, even if they don't understand why. A rare aura is not something you fake, fabricate, or perform. It's the byproduct of inner work, soulful living, and spiritual depth. It comes from moving through pain and transmuting into wisdom. It's born from radical authenticity, the courage to be who you are without apology or conformity. That type of energy radiates from the inside out, and it leaves an impression. People react strongly to a rare aura because it disrupts the norm. It doesn't conform to expectations, social games, or surface-level interactions. Instead, it carries truth. And truth is powerful. It exposes, it inspires, it confronts. Some people are drawn to that immediately. Others are shaken by it. That's why when you carry a rare aura, you'll notice odd behaviors. Intense admiration, unsolicited jealousy, fascination, or even silent resentment. It's not personal, it's energetic. You are reflecting something they are either craving or avoiding within themselves. A rare aura cannot be hidden, even when you try. It's visible in your eyes, your tone, and your posture and the way you hold space. It speaks before you do. It's a quiet confidence that doesn't need to prove itself. People feel safe with you, or seen in ways they're not used to. Some may share their deepest thoughts within minutes of meeting you, sensing that your energy can hold their truth. Others may feel intimidated or uneasy, sensing that they can't wear masks around you. That's the power of a rare aura. It acts like a mirror. When you carry such energy, you also carry responsibility. You have to guard your space. Not everyone deserves access to your presence. Your light may attract those who want to drain it or dim it. This is why boundaries become essential. Not as walls to isolate, but as filters to protect. Your aura is sacred. It's built from lifetimes, whether literal or emotional, of rising, healing, choosing love over fear. It deserves to be honored, not exploited. Another trait of a rare aura is that it transcends superficiality. You're not drawn to trends, gossip, or comparison. You care about meaning, depth, purpose, and impact. You value connection over attention, peace over chaos, integrity over popularity. This makes you magnetic to some and misunderstood by others. But the point isn't to be understood by everyone. It's to remain aligned with your truth, no matter who reacts. Or you'll often notice that people project onto you, expecting you to be their savior, their villain, or their fantasy. But your role is not to manage how others see you. Your role is to stay grounded in who you are. A rare aura doesn't chase acceptance, it naturally attracts alignment. The more you embrace your uniqueness, the more clearly you'll see who is meant to walk with you and who isn't. In relationships, your aura will also act as a compass. You'll sense dissonance when energy doesn't match yours. You'll feel when someone is speaking truth or performing. You'll know when to walk away, not because of drama, but because your spirit recognizes that peace is more valuable than proximity. So if people react to you with intense emotions, both positive and negative, don't shrink. Don't second-guess your light. It's a sign you carry something rare, something divine. Your aura isn't for everyone to understand. It's for those who resonate, those who are ready, those who feel the call to rise with you. Protect it. Celebrate. Let it lead. There's a reason some people seem to draw others effortlessly, not through words or status, but through their mere presence. This phenomenon is called spiritual magnetism, an unseen force that radiates from within, commanding attention, stirring curiosity, and often leaving people with emotions they can't fully explain. When you carry something rare, it's often because you are vibrating at a level that resonates with authenticity, depth, and truth. That frequency becomes magnetic, and people feel it, whether they understand it or not. Spiritual magnetism isn't about being charismatic in the traditional sense. It's not about charm or being liked by everyone. It's about embodying a certain purity, an alignment between your inner and outer worlds. You're not pretending, performing, or projecting. You are simply being, rooted in self-awareness, humility, and integrity. That alone is rare in a world full of masks. And because it's rare, it stands out. People will often react to spiritual magnetism in ways that reveal their own inner state. Some will be drawn to you with admiration or affection, feeling seen or inspired in your presence. Others might recall or project envy, discomfort, or even hostility, because your energy brings up parts of themselves they've long ignored or suppressed. That's the paradox of spiritual magnetism. It attracts, but it also confronts. It heals, but it also exposes. And when you carry that energy, you must learn to navigate these responses without taking them personally. This type of magnetism is deeply connected to your spiritual path. It doesn't come from titles, success, or external validation. It's cultivated through inner work, through the quiet decisions you've made to grow, forgive, surrender, and rise. Every moment you chose peace over retaliation, truth over convenience, compassion over judgment, you strengthened your spiritual field. That field now speaks louder than words. People feel who you are before you even say a word. With spiritual magnetism comes the need for discernment. You'll notice that your presence starts to affect rooms. People may open up to you instantly, sensing safety in your energy. Some may feel intimidated, sensing you see through facades. Your light may attract brokenness, confusion, or even manipulation. That's why you must be grounded. Magnetism without boundaries can lead to burnout or emotional entanglement. But magnetism with wisdom becomes power, sacred power. You might often find yourself being misunderstood, not because you're unclear, but because your essence can't be easily categorized. You're not trying to fit into boxes. You're living from the soul. That's unsettling for people who live from the ego. And yet your presence serves as a mirror, a reminder that more is possible, that deeper love, higher truth, and greater peace exist. Just by being who you are, you give others permission to awaken. It's also important to understand that spiritual magnetism is not about control. You're not trying to influence people. You're simply aligned with a higher version of yourself, and that alignment naturally shifts the energies around you. You're not here to be the center of attention. You're here to be a vessel of light, wisdom, healing, and truth. That mission requires solitude, clarity, and protection. If people react to you with intensity, Whether fascination or resentment, it's a sign that you carry something rare. You don't need to explain yourself, justify your path or seek validation. Your energy already speaks, your presence already teaches. Just stay faithful to your inner work. Trust the magnetism. Let it filter what's meant for you and what isn't. You are rare because you chose to evolve, to feel deeply, to grow in silence. That kind of rarity can't be copied. It's felt, it's remembered, it's respected, even by those who don't know why. Spiritual magnetism is your quiet power. Own it with grace. Unspoken power is a presence that doesn't shout, boast, or seek attention, but it's impossible to ignore. It's the energy you carry when you've done the deep inner work, when you've faced your shadows, and when you no longer need validation from the outside world to feel worthy. It's not something you display, it's something you embody. And when you walk into a room with unspoken power, people feel it before you say a single word. People may react in unexpected ways. Some may be drawn to you, captivated by your energy, unsure why they feel seen or safe around you. Others might be intimidated, irritated, or even threatened, because your quiet confidence reminds them of everything they're not yet facing within themselves. This is what happens when you carry something rare. Your very presence disrupts the ordinary, not by force but by resonance. Unspoken power doesn't come from dominance, loudness, or control. It comes from self-awareness, emotional intelligence, and spiritual maturity. You've learned how to stand still in chaos. You've learned how to speak truth without aggression, to walk away without resentment, to love without attachment, and to protect your peace without explanation. That's power, because it cannot be manipulated, controlled, or diminished by external circumstances. This kind of power is rooted in authenticity. You're no longer playing roles to be accepted. You've stopped chasing approval and started honoring your inner truth. That shift radiates through your body language, your eye contact, your silence. People can't quite put their finger on it, but you feel it. It's in the way you listen, the way you move, the way you stay grounded even when others seek drama or chaos. You've become a mirror, and that can be both healing and confronting to others. When you carry unspoken power, you naturally challenge others, not by what you do, but by who you are. You reflect strength without needing to overpower. You carry depth without needing to impress. And in a world obsessed with performance and appearance, this quiet power stands out as something rare, even sacred. You are a reminder that real strength doesn't have to be loud. The reactions you receive, whether admiration or discomfort, are not really about you, but about the internal impact your energy has on others. Some will be inspired to grow simply by being near you. Others may try to compete, tear you down, or misunderstand you. That's the cost of carrying a rare frequency. But you're not here to be understood by everyone. You're here to stay aligned with your truth. Unspoken power is also deeply connected to your boundaries. You know when to speak and when to stay silent. You know when to give and when to protect your energy. You've learned that not everything requires a reaction, and not every space deserves your presence. This quiet discernment becomes your shield, allowing you to move with grace, clarity, and purpose. You may notice that the more you embody this power, the less you need to explain yourself. You don't argue your worth, justify your intuition, or chase connections. The right people feel you, the wrong people fall away. That's not arrogance, it's alignment. And alignment is magnetic. If people react strongly to you, it may be because you've stepped into your unspoken power. You're no longer shrinking, pretending, or seeking to fit in. You've become a force, not through domination but through presence. That's rare, and rare will always provoke a response. So trust the reactions. Don't take them personally. Let them reveal who is resonating with your truth and who is resisting it. Keep walking with quiet strength. Keep choosing integrity over approval. That's how unspoken power works. It doesn't announce itself. It simply is. And the world feels the shift. An intimidating presence doesn't come from arrogance, aggression, or an inflated ego. It comes from authenticity, self-mastery, and a deep sense of inner alignment. It's what happens when someone knows who they are, understands their worth, and refuses to shrink for the comfort of others. If people react to you with discomfort, defensiveness, or silent envy, it may be because you carry a frequency they're not used to. a frequency that cannot be manipulated or controlled. That's what makes your presence intimidating. People are often intimidated not by what you say, but by what you don't. When you walk into a room with self-possession, when you carry yourself with quiet confidence and don't seek approval, it unsettles those who rely on external validation. You become a living contradiction to their worldview. You don't play the game of insecurity, gossip, or competition. And that can be disarming. Your stillness, your eye contact, your calm, these things speak louder than any words ever could. An intimidating presence is a mirror. It reflects back to people their own insecurities, the fears and unresolved emotions. You might notice people stammer around you, act overly critical, or avoid deep conversations. It's not because you've done something wrong. It's because your energy challenges them. You're not afraid of silence. You don't need to fill space with small talk. And you definitely don't tolerate fake interactions. That clarity makes people feel exposed. This presence comes from the inner work you've done. You've faced your pain, honed your story, and stopped apologizing for your light. That kind of transformation creates a depth that can't be faked. And it's precisely that depth that others find hard to handle. They're used to surface-level interactions. They're used to masks. When you show up real, raw, and grounded, it throws them off balance. The intimidating energy you carry also comes from having strong boundaries. You don't over-explain. You don't chase. You don't tolerate energy vampires. You know when to walk away, when to say no, and when to protect your peace. That kind of discernment isn't just rare, it's powerful. And power, when embodied quietly, can make others feel powerless. That's why they react. Not because you're hurting them, but because you're no longer giving them access to your energy on demand. You might notice that some people try to compete with you, criticize you subtly, or attempt to downplay your achievements. Don't be discouraged. These behaviors are signs that your energy is stirring something in them. The truth is, people who feel secure in themselves won't be intimidated by your presence. They'll be inspired. But those who haven't done their healing may feel threatened by your wholeness. What's important to remember is that your presence is a gift. You've earned it through healing, discipline, and self-reflection. You don't need to dim your light to make others comfortable. The right people will recognize your strength and respect your energy. They won't be afraid of your intensity. They'll rise to meet it. Your intimidating presence is not a problem to fix. It's a reflection of your growth. You're not here to fit into spaces that ask you to shrink. You're here to expand, to lead, to inspire, even if that makes some people uncomfortable. Let them react. Let them reveal themselves. And keep showing up as your full, unapologetic self, because when you carry something rare, like clarity, power, and peace, it's natural for others to take notice, and it's natural for that presence to provoke strong reactions. But those reactions are not yours to carry. Keep your focus inward, stay aligned, and remember your presence speaks louder than words, and its power lies in the silence. Being your authentic self in a world that constantly pressures you to conform is a revolutionary act. When you walk through life unapologetically rooted in who you are, without masks, without people-pleasing, without seeking validation, you naturally carry something rare. That rarity isn't in how you look or what you say, but in your willingness to show up real. And people feel that. Some admire it, others are confused by it. But almost everyone reacts to it because authenticity disrupts the illusion. Your authentic self doesn't beg for acceptance. It doesn't shrink to make others feel comfortable, nor does it expand just to impress. It simply is. That kind of grounded energy stands out in a world obsessed with image and performance. Most people are trained to seek external approval, through titles, appearance, or behavior. So when someone walks in embodying their truth without needing to prove anything, it shakes things up. It silently challenges others to confront the roles they've been playing. You may have noticed that when you embrace your authenticity, you trigger unexpected reactions. Some people pull away. Others get defensive, passive-aggressive, or subtly competitive. That's not because you've wronged them. It's because your presence reminds them of the parts of themselves they've abandoned. Your freedom exposes their limitations. Your truth contrasts their performance. Your peace unsettles their internal chaos. And yet, you're not trying to provoke anyone. If you're simply living from a place of inner alignment, you're honest about what you feel. You say yes when you mean it, and no without guilt. You're not afraid to be seen, nor are you afraid to walk away. That emotional clarity is magnetic to the right people, and deeply uncomfortable to those still hiding behind facades. Your authentic self isn't loud or dramatic. It's quiet power. It's choosing integrity over popularity. It's living according to your values even when it's inconvenient. That consistency makes you trustworthy, even if others don't know how to categorize you. In a world of surface-level connections, authenticity creates depth. And depth isn't something everyone is ready for. You also start noticing patterns. People may question your choices, not out of curiosity but out of discomfort. They might mock your beliefs, minimize your dreams, or give backhanded compliments. These are signs you're vibrating at a level they haven't accessed within themselves. It's not personal. It's projection. Your look, and that's why you must never shrink yourself to appease reactions that were never about you in the first place. Living as your authentic self means setting boundaries that protect your energy. It means no longer performing to be liked or understood. It's the quiet confidence that comes from inner truth, not external applause. You start to attract relationships that honor your soul instead of your image. You call in opportunities aligned with your purpose, not your persona. And most importantly, you begin to trust yourself fully. But authenticity is not always easy. It takes courage to stand alone when necessary. It takes strength to remain true when others expect you to bend. And it takes wisdom to know when to speak and when to stay silent. Still, every time you choose authenticity, you get closer to inner peace. And that peace is your rarest power. So if people react strongly to you, don't rush to question yourself. But don't dilute your essence just to make others more comfortable. Their reaction is not a reflection of your worth, but of your rarity. You are walking proof that being real is still possible. You carry something rare because you carry yourself. And that, in this world, is everything. Silent confidence is one of the most powerful energies a person can carry, and when you possess it, people react in ways they don't even understand. It's not loud, boastful, or attention-seeking, yet it commands respect. Silent confidence is calm, grounded, and unwavering. It doesn't need validation. And that very self-assurance is what makes it rare and magnetic. When you carry this kind of energy, it shifts the dynamic of every room you enter. People are naturally drawn to those who exude silent confidence because it represents strength without aggression. You don't need to prove yourself, because your presence already speaks volumes. There's a steadiness in how you move, in how you carry yourself, and even in how you choose your words or your silence. This presence is deeply felt, and for some, it's unsettling, especially if they rely on external validation to feel important. The rare power of silent confidence lies in the fact that it's not performative. You're not trying to impress anyone. You're just fully aware of who you are, and what you offer, and what you will and will not tolerate. That clarity makes people notice you even when you're not speaking. It makes them curious, sometimes intimidated, and often reactive, because it's not something they see every day. Silent confidence often triggers insecurity in others. It can provoke envy, suspicion, or even subtle attempts to diminish you. People might test you, challenge you, or try to push your buttons. Not because you're weak, but because they're uncomfortable with someone who doesn't need their approval. They don't know how to read you because you don't overshare. They can't manipulate you because you don't seek their praise. And that independence can be threatening to those who are used to controlling others through attention and approval. But silent confidence is also deeply assuring to those who are on their own path of growth. People who are secure within themselves will recognize it, respect it, and feel a sense of ease around it. They know it takes inner work to reach that level of calm strength, and they're drawn to it because it reflects their own values. In this way, your quiet confidence acts like a filter. It repels the superficial and attracts the genuine. This rare quality also brings a different kind of influence. You don't need to dominate a conversation to be heard. When you speak, people listen, not because you're louder, but because you're grounded. Your words carry weight because they come from a place of knowing, not needing. And when you're silent, your energy still communicates trust, presence, and depth. Carrying silent confidence also means you're comfortable with solitude. You don't fear being alone, because your self-worth isn't tied to external companionship. This self-containment allows you to move through life with grace and discernment. You don't chase people, opportunities, or approval. You attract what aligns with you. And that alone is enough to make others pause and take notice. When people react strongly to your presence, it's often because they sense something uncommon in you. And maybe they can't explain it, but they feel it. It's the absence of neediness, the presence of certainty, and the strength of self-possession that sets you apart. You don't overpower others, you empower yourself. And that is something rare in a world that encourages noise over depth. So if you carry silent confidence and people start reacting, whether with admiration, confusion, jealousy, or respect, know that it's because you've tapped into something real. You've stepped into your own energy without apology. And that kind of power doesn't need to be shouted. It only needs to be lived.